All right, this article is coming from Market Beat. Why you should consider buying Nvidia ahead of earnings. Now, earnings are tomorrow on Wednesday. This article came out on Friday of last week. And last week, Nvidia jumped 12%. It jumped 5% alone on Friday due to the company's strong position in the AI race. Again, they announced earnings tomorrow. Wall Street will be waiting with bated breath. It truly is a remarkable turnaround for a stock that has endured a 10% drop through October of last year. Now, the stock is more than 100% up year to date, and from the lows of October, up roughly 200%. Uh, Only 3 weeks ago, the team over at Ersty was upgrading their rating on Nvidia from hold to buy, citing its strength in data center business. Specifically, they see AI driving sales sharply higher, with analyst Haynes Engel telling clients that revenue and profit growth will accelerate significantly in 2024. It was a move that echoed that of HSBC. So all these analysts are upgrading their price targets on Nvidia. So it was a move that echoed that of SHSB, who also upgraded their rating on Nvidia shares last month on the back of companies' opportunities to become market leader in AI. Analyst Frank Lee gave Nvidia shares a price target of 355. That would be all-time highs. Okay, now what was notable about this was that HSBC has been known as a bear when it comes to Nvidia. So they finally threw in the towel. The longer-term opportunity must indeed be widening at a rapid pace. It's clear that investors are buying in on the back of this with view towards the revisions, blowing future forecasted revenue out of the water. So everyone is long Nvidia. They gotta blast through earnings tomorrow. If they don't, then the stock is going to tank. All right. So say if they don't blast through earnings, say if the stock does take a hit, how do you play Nvidia in earnings, into earnings, while minimizing some of your risk? You can do that through some heavily weighted ETFs. This article is coming from Yahoo Finance. Nvidia stock related ETFs jumps on AI partnership. And the largest semiconductor ETF, the Van Wyck Semiconductor SMH, is up 2.4%. Nvidia is the fund's largest holding with a weighting of more than 13%. All right, so let's first look at Nvidia stock on the weekly chart. And you can see that price finally breached the daily sellers level at 270 and the resistance support band at 280 after a lot of consolidation in the month of April and early May. Um, what I'm hoping for is that earnings are not blow off the socks type results, and we do get a pullback to the area of the origin of the breakout, which would be a great place to go long. Um, Now, if they blow out the earnings and you see a basing candle this week, right, it might be a buildup, an eventual breakout on earnings. Well, then one way to play it again is through the ETF. We're going to look at the SMH. Again, the largest holder is Nvidia. So let's go to SMH. And all right, we'll start with the monthly chart. And you can see that price did breach the downtrend line back in November. It did retest it, and now it's off to the races. These bottom wicks show that we do have support at the 120 level. Upside, you have some wicks here. So let's take a look on the weekly chart. Yeah, I would say upside right now is going to be this 140 level. That's where these wicks begin, selling pressure. Um, Again, you can see on the weekly chart, price is basing this week's candle, potentially waiting for a breakout or a breakdown in price. Let's just go to the daily chart, and you can see price is steadily in decline, making lower highs. You do have a gap fill at the 129-ish level. You also have another gap fill at the 126, and not gap fill, but gaps. Just want to see that's level. All right, so I'm going to raise this up to the 143-ish, 144 level, as that's what support resistance. All right, let's go back to the article. Then you have the SOX, iShares Semiconductor. Nvidia is also the largest holder, but a lower weighting than it does in SMH at about 9%. All right, the weighting in the SMH for Nvidia is roughly 13%. All right, so let's go to the SOX. Very similar, right? We had a breach of the monthly trend line. Similar basing at, in this case, 400. Let's go to the weekly chart. Very similar. We'll say upside. First target once 465, as there's some selling at that level there. All right, so it's about $20 to the upside, but the real resistance comes in at 510. All right. Now you can also use some leverage. Two ETFs that offer leverage and inverse exposure to the performance of Nvidia. You got the Granite shares 1.5x long with less than 6 million in assets, so not very liquid. You have this AXS 1.25x Nvidia Bear Daily ETF, nearly 88 million. Better, but still not liquid enough, and we'll see that. Let's go first to the long Nvidia Daily ETF, NVDL. NVDL. Wow. So this is saying that for every dollar move in Nvidia, you're going to get 1.5 dollar move in this Granite shares. And how convenient. It was created back in December in preparation for this huge run higher. Who would have thought, right? OpenChatGPT would have done it, or was the catalyst. All right, so it's pretty much been in a straight line up. Straight line. You know, if Nvidia does sell off, you can look at the $50 level, which would also be where you would have a test of the uptrend line. As you can see on the daily chart, you do have some resistance, which now serves as support. Yeah, I mean, all of these instruments are just waiting for earnings at this point, right? You have nothing but base and candles on every single instrument. All right, let's look at the The bear case, bear daily ETF, NVDS. NVDS should have came out around the same time. Okay, July of last year. And because it's inversely correlated to Nvidia's price, as Nvidia went up, this went down, right? And just looking at the daily chart, if you do see Nvidia's price crash, I do anticipate you have some sellers here on the daily chart. So a crash would mean that price would increase and then potentially decline, just like in Nvidia's case. If we go to the weekly, we can see that a little better. On a sell-off, on earnings, price would decline and then potentially go up. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. Personally, I'm not playing the earnings. Potentially, will get in if earnings are bad. Not bad. They're going to be good. They may not be stellar, and price declines. This is where I may entertain looking to get long through options. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.